What's up, guys? I wanted to go through little juicy deets on my Facebook profile. I know that's lame, but whatever. I don't care. It's funny. So I'll continue on. Welcome to the Toasty podcast. This is not a full podcast episode. This will only be available on YouTube, probably TikTok and Instagram. It's that video content stuff. It's not really made for full episodes, so I'm going to put it on this. Welcome. And if you're ready, I'm looking up at the screen because I can see myself. This is so distracting. I need to stop doing that. Let's get toasty. I actually have on Facebook I post my podcasts every time, right? Why wouldn't you? Because that's all Facebook's good for, right? People take Facebook way too seriously, just like Twitter, just like, Instagram, all this stuff, man. And I get that it's a serious issue. I'm just a humor guy. I believe there's comedy in everything. If there wasn't comedy in everything, if I didn't find comedy in everything, I would probably be a traumatized kid. So, anywho, I just said Happy Mother's Day to all those that have dealt with the terrible twos, the constant whining, talking your ear off, ADHD, and anything else children do when the doors are closed. And it isn't rainbows and unicorns. I didn't deserve my mom because I'm freaking wild, and here I stand alive today. So, heck yeah. And then I went ahead and threw a little spice on it, like, when does life begin? Got some people riled up. And half these people, honestly, no, not even half. 100% of these people have not listened to my podcast. So I posted my podcast, they look at the headline, and then they just react. And that peeves me off, man. Just really gets me going, gets the juices flowing. I don't really comment a lot. I mean, I used to. I stopped because, well, yeah, you get the point. You know what's up. So anywho, I'm going to read some of the good ones, This one is ridiculous, man. Oh, gosh. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Just so y'all are clear and aware, this is not a legal document. However, it is public. It is similar to, a town square. She is saying things that are on my public profile, which means it's public. I will give her information out like this. That is not my fault. That is whoever comments on my posts' fault. Just to make that clear. Also, do whatever the heck you want to do. Love the sweet post about moms. I have 4 of mine, and I raised 4 of his. That being said, that was weird. That being said, for a man to make a decision about what I do with my body is insanity. Even though that's not really what I was getting at. Not knowing my medical background, what is medically happening with my pregnancy, what has occurred before in previous pregnancies. Your decisions as a male based on your religion or any person making a decision on my body based on their religion is not only ridiculous, it is unconstitutional. Your religion is not my religion, which is fine. The whole point of this post was, when does life begin? Not, is it legal or constitutional to do these things? Because if we agree on when life begins, then we can have a serious conversation about whether or not it's legal to proceed past where we believe life begins, right? That's why this post is here. Siri started talking to me from my iPad in the back corner over there. So I don't know what that was about. He just decided to listen to me, probably because I was doing some freaking podcast on this abortion thing. So anywho, I turned it off. I also unplugged my Google Home. You can never be too sure, you know what I'm saying? Put on your tinfoil hats, because it's wild out there. Back to it, guys. So what I was trying to say is, if we agree on, when life starts, then the whole argument is moot at that point. The problem with saying pro-life or pro-choice is that it doesn't point out any of those issues or differences. It's an assumption based on me saying if I'm pro-life, that means, oh, you can't ever do it no matter what, no abortions ever. And the truth is, the majority of America doesn't really agree with that. They agree that there are some circumstances where it should be possible. However, I'm not going to say yes or no to that because that is somewhere where I don't know if I know what I would want to happen there. I'm not sure. I am sure that Roe v. Wade, if it does get overturned, would not be that big of a deal for you. There are states that would still allow it, so I'm not really sure why all you guys are up in arms out there. Here we go. Still reading this one, the same comment. Back to it. Your religion is not my religion. Let's make a law for your penis. Okay. For your orgasms, for your reproductive unit. You are now only allowed... Okay. You are now only allowed 2 pregnancies per lifetime. Can you comply? No. Okay, let's cut your privates so you can't have more than 2 pregnancies and make a law. You can't comply? No sex for you, dude. I don't know what to say. You're talking a lot about my reproductive unit. I feel uncomfortable. Also, who said I was about sex out here? Like, who said that? Actually, I'm arguing against just having sex for no reason. You know, I'm arguing for responsibility. Whew, man, that'll get you. All right. Life is precious. I love babies. I love life. But making a decision about my body, not cool. I'm compromised. I get sick at the drop of a hat. I don't demand masks. I didn't demand you to get vaccinated because it's your damn body. But hold on a second there, Terry. I've seen you in my comment section before, and you are coming at me hot with the whole vaccinations, COVID, everything. Actually, you know what? For this video, you'll see it. I'll pull it up, and it'll be right here where all these other comments are. You know, this thing. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it with my hands and, like, get it right. This thing right here. Boom. Oh, wrong way. That's hard. Anyway, that is where you'll see it, and I'll prove you. I'll prove you wrong there. It's one of those history tweets, you know? You said this, and then later you're like, oh, no, that's not what I said. Again, don't tell me what to do with my body if you don't want me to tell you what to do with yours. End of discussion. I have got to change that about freaking Facebook. You probably saw it right up there on the screen. I am tired of that. Stop giving me notifications, Facebook. Golly, that pisses me off. Anyway, guys, that was one of the main comments. I'm going to keep going. This is hilarious to me, though. Luke, you asked the right question. When does life begin? If it begins at conception, which is what I believe, then it's not anyone's body but the baby's. Your body's choice is to abstain or... Oh, my gosh. I can't do this. I can't... Where do I get rid of the notifications for Facebook? Where do I end it? Where do I stop it? Please stop sending me notifications. I don't know. I don't know what to do here. You guys will have to handle it for now. I guess I will. I'm the one that's getting so mad about it. Your body's choice to abstain or use protection. After that, it's the baby's body. Now, here's what I'll say to that. I will say, whoa. God, stop sending me notifications, please. All right, I said I'm putting that away if I can somehow. Moving on. I would say I disagree with... How do I mute this guy? How do I mute these? I'm doing it right now. Sorry, guys. Close all chats. Go away. I don't want to see those at all. Facebook, if you're listening to this or watching this or whatever, please fix your crap. I don't want to see any notifications on my web browser when I'm on Facebook already. Why would you need that? You don't need anyone to tell you what you're doing. You're on the website. You can see it. You can literally see the bell right there. Why do I need that? I don't need it. I don't need to hear it. I don't want to see it. Get out of here. All right. I would say on Luke's comment, the only thing I have to add is that I am not against Plan B. That's it. That's all I have to say. And people will be up in arms about that too, probably. They'll tell me that I'm crazy or whatever. I don't care. That's where I kind of draw the line. And, you may say that's tough. That's hard. How do they decide in 24 hours if you're on, the more extreme side, I guess? And I'm going to say you're right. Yeah, it is tough. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's really hard. And it does cost money. It's like a $50 pill last time I checked, right? And that's where, I don't know what to tell you. In extreme situations, there may be something else that comes into play. Like, let's say it's a really young girl that doesn't have any idea what's going on or what to do after that. That is different, I think. And there's a lot of conversations to be had here, but no one wants to have those conversations. They just want to do what Terry did. They just want to just freaking tell me I can't say anything. I'm a man. Get out of here, right? And that's what I'm trying to bring to light. I'm trying to bring to light. We need to have the conversations. We need to make progress. We're not making progress. We're just bumping heads. We're clashing right now. It's all we're doing is clashing. So anyway, my choice, my body, my choice ended with COVID. I just said based because it is, but it's funny, and I can get behind that. All right, here's the next juicy one. You ready? Evan Rydell. I'm assuming that's a guy, but could be wrong. I don't know. I don't really scour the profiles. That's kind of might be unethical, I guess, for a podcast. I don't know. I don't think where does life begin is the right question to be asking. We end life all the time. Whoa, when we squish a bug. When we eat meat, even when we use antibacterial products. Because a bacteria is a life, you best believe it. I'm not certain what the question really should be, but it probably should be something more along the lines of, at which point in fetal development do we assign personhood to a fetus? Isn't that exactly the same thing as when does life begin? Yeah, Evan, I'm kind of confused here. Not necessarily. Life doesn't equal personhood, as made evident by the life we end all the time, by people euthanized while in persistent vegetative states, or when somebody commits atrocities and is denied the rights and respect associated with personhood. Okay, so he's talking about legal personhood. But if you want to talk about legal personhood, that's like a corporation is a legal person. I'm lumping all those things into the category of life and using that as my justification for dismissing the question, where does life begin? Should something predictably gaining consciousness in the future give us reason to treat it as if it is conscious at that point? I'm not sure that it should. If it doesn't have consciousness or personhood at the time, I'm not sure that it should be treated as a person. I just can't think of any good reason, making sure you guys can see this, why it should. After all, we don't mourn babies that were never allowed the chance at consciousness due to birth control, vasectomies, sterility, or contraception. He meant contraception. He said contraception. I understand your, I don't know if it's necessarily an argument, point, kinda. I kind of get it. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to follow. Hard one to follow. But at the end there, you did a huge generalization. You're assuming that, who's we? Me and you? Well, we together in this? Whenever you say you don't mourn babies that were never allowed the chance at consciousness due to birth control, vasectomy, sterility, or contraception. If I were a woman, I would not take a daily pill that completely just wrecks my body and my hormones and everything. That's insane. Now, you guys do what you want there. And that actually is your body, your choice. Why is that? Why? How do you change position so fast? Because there's not a human in this equation. Another human, I should say. There's a woman, and that's it. That's why I harp so much on the when does life begin. It's not about a freaking woman's body at all. It's about another human's body. It's like the argument goes the same both ways. It's their body, their choice, and I'm like, it's the baby's body, and it should live. That should be the default. Jack Ragland, don't know about life, but heartbeat and neural activity begin at about 6 weeks. So that's good enough for me. Little monologue by Sky. Yeah, boy. I'm on the fence when we talk about whether it's conception or 6 weeks in my personal beliefs, although science would tell you it's conception. However, I have to agree that it's a massive turning point, or so it seems, in the growing of the fetus. The original Roe v. Wade argument states 24 weeks is a viable fetus, which may have been as true then as cigarettes not having a negative effect on you. What happens when technology is able to grow a human baby out of the womb? Huh? Because we're not that far off from that, I don't think. Leaving the ethical ideas for even considering doing that in the first place aside. Anywho, I'm just tired of hearing the pro-life versus pro-abortion argument because I really don't think any well-adjusted human being wants to have a say in ending human life, which actually means the majority isn't arguing against circumstances where the mother's livelihood are at stake and complications similar to that. Some people still disagree on and want it all banned full stop. I'm only pointing out it isn't the bipartisan majority. And then I said, also sorry for leaving the novel because that's, whatever. Here comes Terry again. I love how all you men have an opinion. It's not your body. It's not your decision. And you shouldn't be making laws about women's bodies. You don't like abortion. Don't have one. Oh, yeah, you can't because you're a man. Oh, wow. Men can get pregnant now. Therefore, I'm entitled to an opinion on the matter. Wowzers. Oh, man. Shout out to all the people that comment on these things. I love it. That's great. It's just constant entertainment for me, honestly. Typical rich white man comment. Oh my gosh, dude. Unhinged, bro. Remember, men have a pro-life voice because they can get pregnant too. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. According to the current state of protests, left-wing, I say left-wing, it's really not, pro-abortion activists are more anti-trans than what they had you believe before, which is all right-wing people are anti-trans, which that's not true either. But if turtle eggs are federally protected, eagles are protected. Let me throw this up on the screen for you guys. All right, eagles are protected. How much more should an unborn human life be protected? It's not health care, nor is it reproductive rights. Babies have a different DNA than the mother, and most have a different blood type than the mother. So it actually is not their body, but a separate unborn human baby. There are medical reasons at times to consider termination, but there are too many choices today to prevent pregnancies. The choice is before you get pregnant, not 6 months down the line. Woo! Laying it down, dude. Laying it down. Today's society is so susceptible to not taking responsibility for something they're doing, blaming it on a systemic problem that we have, apparently, in the government or in America or whatever. Now, I'm not negating the fact that we have our problems, we have our issues. There's always things to be fixed, I guess. But in a progressive society, you get to a point where you're like, maybe it's too easy, and you have to figure out something to blame your problems on, I guess. That's a hard one. All right. Kara Smith. This is one I wanted to read. Terry's back at it again, bro. Terry's back at it again with the white vans. Since this is all about equal rights, if abortions end up being deemed illegal again, then the fathers of the unborn babies need to be held just as accountable as the woman carrying the baby, no matter what choice is made, termination, adoption, or to parent. Many women and girls don't truly have the choice in the creation of said life, whether it be religious reasons, rape, marital rape, molestation, trafficking, etc. Yet they are always who ultimately pay the price. It's much easier to punish the vessel. I'm not sure that shouldn't necessarily be an argument, because I think that everyone agrees that, yeah, you definitely should 100% put the father in a responsible, dang it, make them responsible there. Whew, man, that was hard. But it cannot be in the way of child support, because it already does not work. In Texas especially, we have a huge bureaucracy for child support, almost like it's just for cash flow of the Texan government. that's a crazy thing to say, I guess, and that is a tongue-in-cheek exaggeration. But the point is, it is broken. I know several fathers that are taking care of their kids, and it took them literal thousands, tens of thousands, sorry, not even just thousands, tens of thousands, and years of their life not being able to move or progress in a job in order to perform and in the courtroom with a lawyer that's able to do it and get custody. Texas favors the woman in child support. I guess just like Kara is saying, Texas favors the man in babies being born. I'm not sure. I would say, yeah, we would need to fix the child support system if that's the plan, or just not even, just scratch the whole thing, or add on another system where it's like, hey, you got to be there. Because it's not about money. It's not a monetary value thing. Money would not solve the issue. It hasn't before, has it? It hasn't before, and since the 30s and 40s, or, well, I guess 50s. Matt said it before on the show, the welfare state. When did that start? And, pumping money into anything has not worked. It can incentivize the wrong thing and end up flipping at some point in the future. And so that's where we're at. And the same thing goes for this. You can't just fix it with money. It would have to be literally a physical presence. And how do you regulate that? How do you regulate that? What I do know is that abortions happen for the most part in low-income areas, and those are also the areas where it's more likely that they do not have both parents around. It could be one or the other. It's not always, men. It's not always men gone. It could be both. It could be one or the other. So that's something that would need to be solved, which is a completely deeper issue, of course. We always do this. We'll go down the rabbit hole, and you don't have to stop. You can literally just keep going and going and going and going. And guess where we end up? We always end up at every single system in the government is broken. We always end up at all the agencies take too much money and they don't know how to spend it. Because we could go right from here, right now, right from this conversation, we could go to education. Let's talk about education and why that's messed up and causing an issue with this specific argument right here. And it'd be valid. I'm not going to do that, but it would be valid. But you start to see that constant freaking pattern when you start looking at all the politics and you stay with it for a couple years. It's the same freaking thing over and over and over and over. Always. So let's move on. I want to read this last one because it seems pretty good, pretty juicy. You notice, Sky, oh, call me out. Oh, man, wow. That all your responses are coming from men. White men. I have yet to see a poor mother of 5 on here. A rape victim on here that I know of. There are so damn many. Well, let's stop you right there. Now, I don't like using statistics. I really don't. I'm about to use one, so I guess I can't really say much there, but statistic coming from Planned Parenthood, so take it with a grain of salt or not, because I'm using the defendants, if you will, place of business. Anyway, whatever. Less than 1% of all abortions are rape. But that stat is a few years old at least, so it's questionable. However, on the flip side, I also know that abortions went down 10% in Texas after we did the 6-week heartbeat bill. It is suggested and predicted that if this Roe v. Wade is overturned and the trigger law is put in place in Texas, it will be about 14%. So we'll see. I chose to have my children, but that was my choice. My choice based on my life, my body, and not your religion or your politics. Guys, this has been it. This has been my post, I guess. I might start doing this again. I did this Facebook Warriors segment. I used to do that on the podcast. Kind of got rid of it. The reason I got rid of it is because, well, I felt like it ended up being an echo chamber. Why do I say echo chamber every time? climate change. No, echo chamber. So because the people commenting were always just like not the other side of the argument or any perspectives really. I want more perspectives. So if you guys want to join that, you go ahead, and I will listen to you and respectfully agree or disagree depending on what you say. Just don't be wild, Don't be wild. Terry commented 4 times, long comments that were, I don't know if they're going to get us anywhere. And they didn't really change my perspective either. Kara, it's a good comment. Might change my perspective. You just got to think about those things, And if you want to have a conversation about this, you are obviously welcome to be on the Toasty Podcast, the real Toasty Podcast, not comments section, whatever, BS. So that's all I got for today, guys. And hope you guys enjoyed the video. So stay toasty. Toasty.